ChatGPT is outstanding in helping with Excel. Here my company ordered a lot of IT equipment in different batches. We have an order ID. We have a buyer, a contact person from my company, a vendor, so where did we bought it from, product type, product name, quantity, price per unit, in which currency was it ordered, order date, delivery date, and a status. Let's start simple and let's get the latest currency rates from ChatGPT so we can start using it in formulas here in our Excel. I go up here and then I just prompt get the latest currency rates where euro is the base currency. So I want each price to be calculated in euro, and then I can say in 2 columns. I want the currency symbol and then I want a rate. I also want to specify which currencies I need and in which order. I can combine this. I can just say in the following order, do like this, and say euro, US dollar, British pound sterling, and Danish kroners like this. Then I have also specified that I only want these 4 currencies. I hit enter. Then it will search the web for credible sources for the current exchange rate in these ones here. Here you can see that we have an interval. We cannot use this, so we will need to make a correction. We can just do that here in chat. So here I say correct, colon, shift enter. That's just one way to do it. I can say the column name should be just rate. That was one correction. And then I can say I want a single rate and not an interval. So in human words, I just tell ChatGPT what I want and then I get it here. What I will do is to mark it or go up here and copy the table. I say Control C, then I go back to my Excel, click plus to add a new sheet down here, go up in A1, right click and choose this match destination formatting in paste. Then we have a nice table. What I can do here is to, while this is marked or simply just a single cell is marked, I could make this a table. Then I can say Control T. My table has headers. Yes, we have currency and rates. And then I can do this. Right now, again, if you click inside it and go to table design, you can see our table named is table 1. Let's call this one currency rates. Let's also rename our sheet down here. So I right click, rename currency rates. So right now we only have the current currency rates. These are static. We will use them at first and then we will automate it with Office scripts later in this guide. Stay tuned. So let's go back to orders and let's also go over to ChatGPT and make a new chat. Now I want to set the scene because we want to make a conversation here where we give ChatGPT information about our data. What I do here is that I say in the following, I give you Excel questions. My Excel language is in English. If you have English, then this last part is not as important, but if you have it in Danish, German, Indian, or whatever local language you have, this is important because then you will get the formula suggestions in your local language. We just do this, got it, then it asks me for the first prompt. Here I can say, how do I create a table and name it orders? We already created a table, but here we get a guide. I can select the range and then I can name the table. And here we have an example. Let's follow the guide one by one. So here I should mark my data. I can do this by either having the mouse or I can press Control, Shift, arrow to the right, arrow to the below. If you didn't know that, you will just mark it with your mouse. Then we are in the Home tab. We can click Format as a Table. And now I can choose a table style. I'll just go with this default one here. and it says that I should check my table has headers if your data has them. We have that, and we can click OK. I also want to name the table because we wanted to name it orders. With any cell in the new table selected, go to table design and go over here and call orders, press enter to confirm. Now our table is officially named orders. Let's first calculate how many different vendors we have. As we can see, we have IT partner repeated a couple of times. We have data weld. Let's calculate how many different ones we have, and we want to make a dynamic formula. I simply just go over here to create the formula for data insights. I could say create a formula that counts how many different values there are in the vendor column. Then ChatGPT says that we can use a COUNTA, unique orders vendor, or if you have an older Excel, we can use it without unique. We have the newest one here, and here we can see that we are referencing to the orders table, the vendor column. We see how many unique values we have, and then we count them. What we can do is simply just press copy. Then we'll need to choose where should this formula go into. Well, let's put it below the vendor. So I click in this cell, take Control V and paste it in. Now we have 6 different vendors. If we want to test that this works, just go up here to data vault, press A7, that will be a new unique name. Then we will have 7 and so forth. Let me undo this. Let's start creating simple formulas, and then we will get more and more advanced. So I want to create a formula, that will be the first one, that calculates the total price. This will be quantity times price per unit. First, I'll need to know how I add a column here. I can just ask ChatGPT about that. So here I can say, how do I add a column in the table? So with human words, it just gives me the guide. We have 3 different methods. I could pick one of them, for example, right click insert. I can choose to insert or table columns to the right or left. So I can go here, right click, insert, table columns to the left, and we have a new column. Let's rename this total price. Now I want to fill this in with the total price. Here I will give ChatGPT direct guidance on how to calculate it. Just go over to the chat here, and then I say, give me the formula for multiplying the quantity and price per unit columns. Keep in mind here that when we are referencing to the column names, then we want to be exact. If we misspell here, then the formula will also not work. So what I can do here is to say copy. Then I can go over here, say Control V. Now I can double click here. We can see that it is correct. Now we have that calculated. Then I could go here. We can see that in the contact column, we have the full name here. We want to split it up. So we want first name column and a last name column. Again, we can add 2 columns. So I go up here, right click, insert table columns to the left. Let me do it once more. So this first one here will be first name, and then it will be last name. Let's ask ChatGPT for 2 formulas for this. So I go down here, and then I say create 2 formulas. One that extracts all names except the last name from the contact column. And then I want one that extracts only the last name from the contact column. We can see I have a spelling mistake up here. ChatGPT will fine understand it, so often I don't really correct it. Now we get 2 formulas, and this is truly amazing. Here we should use a text before and a text after. So here we can see an explanation to the formula. I just copy it. We go to the first name, looks fine. copy the formula for the last name and go here. Now I also want to check that it works for the middle names, because those ones should go into the first name. So here I can say Oliver. Let's just call him Oliver Dan Smith, and our formula works. Then we can do another simple formula before we jump to the advanced ones. If I go over here, I now want to calculate how much transit time we have on these. So here we can see that we have an order date and a delivery date. So what I do here is to right click, I will insert and say table columns to the left. Then I will rename this. I will call this transit days. Let's start by going to ChatGPT chat, and then I can say create a formula that calculates transit time from two columns, order date and delivery date. And let's also add days after the result. Then we get the formula. Then it knows that since we have these two columns, then you calculate transit time by saying delivery date minus order date and then add this. I can just click copy here and paste it in. Now we have the transit time. Then I want to calculate the total price in euro. Now we want to use our currency rate table here. So we want to look up the currency here, get the rate back, and calculate a total price in euro. So what I do here is to go into this one here, right click, insert table columns to the left, and here let's call this one total price in euro. Here I could, if I'm completely clueless about how to do this, I could specify it with my human words, or in my case I know a little, I could also just specify this. So here I can say create a formula that takes the value of the total price column and divides it by the value you find by doing a lookup for each value in the currency column over in the, we gave it a name, so here I can say currency rates table, and I want to look it up in the column A and return the value from column, maybe just from the B column. Do like this, hit enter, got it. Then it first explains. Here I can do a VLOOKUP. What I can do here is just to hit copy. I go over here, say Control V, there we have it. We can see that all euro prices are of course the same. That is because our euro is the base value. Again, we will automate this a little bit later in this guide. I can also do conditions. Let's say that we have big orders on printers. We can see that we have product printer. We know that those can be troublesome based on our experience. So we want a little condition that marks these order lines that we should take care of. Please note this. What I can do is to again add a column. So I say insert here, and here I can say note. Then I go to my chat again. I can say create a formula that evaluates if the product type is printer and the total price in euro is above 100,000. If yes, then mark the cell, let's say take care, and nothing otherwise. Then we get a new formula, we get an if, here we can see it, and we can actually see that is the printer and this is the threshold. We also see that it's take care or nothing. I just copy it here, paste it in, and we now have a few take cares. Let's check this. Yes, we have a printer. That will be this one here. And it is also above 100,000. It looks like this formula also works. Let's format the table. Go over to the new total price in euro. I want to color this red, yellow, or green based on how big this value is. So if it's a big order, I want it to color it red because then we need to pay attention, otherwise yellow or green. This is conditional formatting, a very hard task for a lot of people, including myself sometimes. I can just go over in the chat and say, how do I color the cells in the total price in euro column? Then I have a colon, press shift to do a line break. I can say red for values over 100,000, shift enter. Yellow for values between 50,000 and 100,000, and finally green for values under 50,000. Hit enter, then we will get a guide. So what we need to do here is just to start. I will select the total price here, press Control space to select the whole column, or just drag the cells you want. I press Control here just to deselect the header. I don't want that colored. Then I can add the first rule. Go to the Home tab, press Conditional Formatting, New Rule, Format only cells that contain. Under Format only cells with, I choose greater than. Then I should choose 100,000. Then it says I should click Format, Fill, choose red, choose OK, and choose OK. That's it. I could add the two other ones here. So what I do is to New Rule, and then I can again do the same. Now I want to say between. Here I want 50,000 and 100,000. Again, I want to fill it with yellow this time. And that's it. This looks also good. Now we just need to create a new rule. You do it the same thing, and this was if this is less than 50,000, then we want to color it green. Do like this. Then it says that we should check the rule order. That is, we should have it in this order. What I can do is to say conditional formatting, manage rules. Here we have it. So here we say, it says that we should reverse it. I could click this red, go to the top, and green should be in the bottom, like this. I could choose apply, it doesn't matter here. I could, if I want to understand this, then I can say, explain the reason for 5. I can check, I could reference to it as to check the rule order, or I can just do this. It will understand here why this matters. And that is a value like 120,000 is both greater than 100,000 and technical also greater than 50,000. So here we see that the red is checked for the highest range. That is good. We can also use ChatGPT to visualize stuff, a thing that people always have problems with when in Excel. So I go over here and then I say 2 columns in my Excel table are named total price and currency. How do I create a donut chart showing the sum of the total price column grouped into currency? So here I want to know how much do I buy in each one of their currencies. Here it says that I should create a pivot table. That's one way to do it, and insert the donut chart. This is the guide. Let's do that. Click anywhere in your table, go to insert, and because I have it a little bit collapsed, the pivot table is in here. We want to place it in a new worksheet, it says. I click OK. Then I should drag drag currency to rows area. Here, do like this, and we should take the total price and drag it into the values. Here we have it. Confirm this. You should have a mini summary. That's it. Then I can select the summary table without the grand total row. So what I do here is that I can select all of this. Then I should go to insert pie or donut chart. I think we have it here. And that's it. Here I can see that we sell most in Danish kroner and least in the British pound sterling. Again, I could choose to rename this sheet just to be a little bit better. So here I can say total price distribution or something like this. So what I want to do is to go back to the orders. Let's do another visualization. So here I want to create a pivot table to see how much I sell in euro, buy in euro each day. So I go over here and then I say, how do I create let's just do a pivot table and a line chart. So this time we will explicitly ask about a pivot table. ChatGPT knows that this is a nice way to group data, so that's why it suggested it before, but now we get very explicit. Showing total price in euro per order date. We do this, and here is that we should click anywhere in your orders table, go to insert, go to pivot table. This is the same thing as before. So here we can see we selected orders. That's good. We click OK. Now we should drag order data to the row. And this is something that we are a lot of people struggling with. Now we just can get a complete guide for doing this. Oh, and I can choose to only have the order date, not have it in months. If I want this, then we have all the order dates here. Then I also want total price, it says, into the values area. Now I should click on anywhere in my pivot table, go to insert, then I should have a line chart. There you go. We have our line chart showing how much we buy on over time on the different dates. I can choose to customize it if I want that, add access titles and a lot more. Now we move back to orders. If you do the same actions over and over, that could be formatting or creating reports, then you can do VBA, which is Visual Basic for Applications. Let me show you. VBA is code and ChatGPT can do it. Let's say that each time we want to create a report where all of the records where the status is equal to ordered. You can see we have it here, 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 and here. We want those one dragged out and sent automatically in email. That is very easy to do. I just go to ChatGPT and then I say write a VBA script that sends an email with all the orders from the orders sheet where status is that was ordered, like this. And then I can also say gathered in one email to Anders at Anders Jensen, or please choose your own email so I don't get this. And then I can say comma, separate the column values. Do like this. And here it says write a VBA script. So this will be code. Right now, VBA, it is VBA that will work inside the legacy 365 apps. You could also write all sorts of other code. Maybe we should add a there here. And let's go create the code. This is mind-blowing. I'm a developer and I will get jobless in a few moments of time because now you can all just create this kind of code. You don't need me anymore. So what we do here, we can do all sorts of things. Here we have the ready to use VBA macro. Look at this. Look at how much time you will think that this would take me to write. Now just, and it write the code and even comment the code here, one thing that is best practice in my profession. Here you see it just builds the code, and even if I could build this in a couple of hours, I would make errors that I will need to debug and spend time on. Now I can just sit here and watch. This is mind-blowing. It also suggests that we should have a message box in the end, and it also creates some error handling, helpers, and a lot of other things. You could ask to explain it. We will not. We will just go up here, copy the code, go here. It even gives us a little bit note, and if I scroll up here, you can also see that paste this into a standard module and Alt F11 and run. Let's try to do that. So it says I should press Alt F11. Here I have it. You could get a guide to this if you want, otherwise just do as me. Here I say Control V to paste in this macro. Now we can test it. We run it here. Let's run it. And the email is sent. Let me go check my inbox. So here I've opened up my Outlook, and there you have it. Extremely impressive. Now we have the comma separated all the lines. We can see that it is 5003, 5005, 693, 569. Let's see if those are both all with ordered. So we have this. This is indeed the 5003. There you go. And then this will be 5, 6, 9, and so forth. This is how you automate it. You could also choose to trigger this a little better. So if I open up here, and this one I could get help from with ChatGPT. Now we will just do it in all by ourselves. So what I do here is to go up to the developer up here, and now we want to insert a button. So what I can do here is to insert form controls. Let's just do a button. Then I can drag this. What should happen when I click this button? Then we should activate this send ordered emails. This looks good. I could choose to click OK. Now it's called button 2. Let's rename this to send status email. Then we are done. Now each time I want to send the status mail, I now have a button. I can just click here to send the email, and I can see that there it arrives. Now we get this status email. This is especially smart because this Excel sheet can update, and then this status email, of course, will change in format. We will have more or less rows. This is really, really nice. It could be nice if we, instead of these static currency rates, could have auto updated currency rates whenever we want. So here, let's just go delete these here. The euro will still be base 1. We want to automatically update this through API. This means that we create a connection. This could be from an official source. Here we will just use a free source because this is a demo and we can easily get access to it. But you can choose to connect your Excel to more official sources. So here we combine API, which will be a direct connection, and we will also combine it with Office scripts so we can automate it. This is like VBA on steroids. What I do here is to first find my API. So I go to this app free currency API. Here you can just go to this URL, create a free account, and then you will see this once you log in. I go to the request playground. So here I will choose my base currency. We want it to be euro. What currency do we want back? Well, we want US dollar, British pound sterling, and DKK. Then you can see we get a URL. This is how we want to connect to this service. If I press send here, you will see that the results get back here. So this will happen in our Excel. Now we get live updates, but as you can see, it comes in a structured format. This is in a JSON format. We need to format this, and of course we don't want to do that. We want our Office script to do it. So what I do here is to copy this URL and go to ChatGPT. So here's a create an Office script that calls this API. Then I say Control V. This is a URL also known as an endpoint. Shift enter a couple of times. Then I can say the response comes in this format, colon. Now let's go copy the response here. So I simply just give ChatGPT every data it needs, and then I say all the values should be returned to the sheet called currency rates. The value for the US dollar key, that will be this one here, this value that should be returned into the B3 cell. In the B3 cell, value for the British pound sterling key in the B4 cell, and value for the DKK key in the B5 cells. Well, as you can see, I made a little spelling mistake. Doesn't matter. This is just as impressive as the actual VBA, which we get before. So now we get the code written in TypeScript, another coding language. Let's try to do it. So I just hit copy. We could get a guide on how to apply it. I'll just show it to you. So I go to automate, new script. Here we get a default script. Just choose, if this is your first time, then just make a next. So I delete what we have. Then I paste in the script. I click run. Here we see that we get a few errors. This is where ChatGPT sometimes make an error. Don't worry. What I do is just to take a screenshot. Now we can see it can also debug. So I take a screenshot of the output and I go back here. I say, I get this error, please fix. And then it will say, oh, well, you need to explicitly declare variable or something like that. And then we will get the updated code. Here we can see it thinks a little bit. This is great. Just let it think. Imagine again how long time this would take us if we have to do it manually. Here we have an updated script. Let me just copy it. Let me go back here, say Control V. So just to verify that this was empty, Control V. Now let's try to run it again. There you go. Now we have a working script. And if you didn't see it, I can delete this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So when I hit run here, we get the newest code, currency rates, with a lot of decimals. Your next ChatGPT video is even more advanced than this, and it is right here.